to yoga. And hopefully everybody's having a good holiday weekend. Weather's beautiful, so hopefully everybody's having some fun outdoor time. We're not going to use any props today, but if you want to, you can. So I'm going to teach prop free, but if you want to use a strap when we're laying down the back, feel free to use that if you want to. So we're going to start laying down on your back so that you can start off being completely comfortable and completely supported. So you don't need to worry about your hips or your back or anything. You're just totally supported on the floor, on your back. And then you can support your low back by having the knees bent, or you can have the legs out straight. Just see what feels better for you. And then just close the eyes and begin to breathe deeply. So just taking the first few moments of the practice to settle down and settle in. Allowing the muscles in the body to begin to relax. You can feel the back of the body kind of melting into the ground beneath you. And then the front of the body being light, so the rise and the fall of the chest and belly as you breathe with ease. Relaxing through the shoulders. Softening the muscles in the face. Relaxing the jaw, so there's space between the top teeth and the bottom teeth. Breathe in deeply through the nose and exhale completely out of the mouth. And then from here, let's gently hug the knees into the chest. Draw them in so much that the low back lifts off the floor, and then when it lowers down, it feels a little bit longer and there's more space. You can rock left to right with the legs and the back. You can move the knees in circles a few times in one direction, and then switching the other direction. And then we're gently going to lift the feet up towards the ceiling, but have soft knees, relaxed ankles, and then just gently start to move the ankles and the feet. You can point and flex. You can make some circles. Just getting some nice movement in the ankles. And then keeping the legs soft here, we're going to inhale, take the arms up overhead and soft. So almost like a ballerina. I've never done ballet, but like a ballerina where you have the fingertips together, your arms look like a circle, and then the hands just go up overhead. So just pausing here, feeling the muscles in the back, the space between the shoulder blades, tops of the shoulders. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, hug the knees into the chest. This time we're going to see if the arms and legs can go a little straighter. So as you inhale, take the arms straight back, feet straight up, and then exhale, hug the knees into the chest. And then one more time, just like that. Inhale, arms reach up and back, feet lift, and then exhale, hug the knees into the chest. We're going to take both feet down to the floor, about mat width apart. Arms reach away from each other. Take a full breath in, and then as you exhale, legs drop over to the right. When they go over to the right, really draw the left knee down. inhale, back to center. Exhale, legs go left and reach away with your right knee. And then continue that a few times on your own. The inhale coming up, exhale going over to one side. You can add turning your head over the opposite shoulder if you'd like. Just getting some nice movement into the hips and low back. Keeping the shoulders relaxed. And keeping the breath steady and deep. And then when you come back to center, we'll bring the feet a little bit closer towards your seat. Feet are parallel. And we'll reach the right foot up towards the ceiling, interlacing your hands behind your right thigh. If you prefer to use a strap around the bottom of the right foot, you're welcome to. Otherwise, using your hands to support the back of the right leg. We'll let the left leg go straight along the floor. So you can start here with a soft knee. Let the eyes just be closed. If you want to extend the right leg straighter, you can. Maybe you gently start to push the thigh into your hands. You can flex the foot. That makes it a lot deeper, or just let the foot relax if you're feeling extra tight. Pause here, allowing the blood to flow down the leg. Low back is supported. Maybe feeling the toes reach a little bit more towards the space behind you. And we'll just take one more deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, we're going to hug the right knee into the chest. And then we'll hold on to the shin right below the right knee with your right hand. The left hand can come onto the left hip. And you're gently just going to draw the right knee over to the right. Then we'll switch your hand underneath the knee, so you're holding at the back of the thigh, and then start to reach your right foot towards the ceiling. So the right foot starts to reach up, doesn't have to go far. You can bend and then straighten, or you can just try to keep straight. You might need to adjust. Just using your hand or the strap to support your leg. You're opening up the outer hip and the inner thigh, as well as the hamstring. Relax the shoulders and breathe deeply. Let's take one more nice full deep breath in here, and then as you exhale, hug the knee back into the chest right at the center. We're going to pass your right knee to your left hand, cross the knee and thigh over towards the left with a bent knee. Your right hand can hold on to the right hip. And then we'll switch the hand underneath the leg and just start to reach your right foot away from the hip. So if you're using a strap, then you don't need to use your left hand. Otherwise, left hand is supporting the right leg. It's crossed over, but still trying to keep your right hip and your right shoulder down. You can flex your right foot and you can turn your right toes down. And just pause here to breathe. Opening up the IT band, relaxing the muscles in the back. We'll take one more nice full deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, let's hug the right knee back into the chest. Both hands supporting the shin right below the knee. We'll bend the left knee so the left foot comes onto the floor, and we'll come into a figure four. So just pause here in your figure four. Your right hand can gently guide your right knee away. Can start to sway the leg left to right just a little bit. And then we'll lift the left foot off the floor, reaching for the back of the left thigh. And again, you can continue that sway left to right a little bit with the shape of the legs. And then pause a little bit over to the left and draw the left knee in towards your left shoulder. Completely relax the right side of the seat and hip. So as the eyes are closed and we're coming into this deep release of the hip, take in positive energy and lightness when you breathe in, and let go of heaviness, negativity, or stress that you may be holding on to in different areas of the body, especially the hips. So we're coming into a very deep physical pose, but also try to go deep emotionally, where you can really let go of the stuff that's weighing heavy. Let it go. We'll take one more deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, we'll let the left foot come down to the floor. We're going to uncross the legs, so you're going to have just your right foot next to the left foot. Arms are going to reach away from each other, and we're just going to let both legs drop over to the left. So not as deep of a twist as if the legs were crossed, but thinking about length here. So the shoulders are grounded down. Your rib cage is trying to either stabilize the center or reach to the right. And then the hips and the legs are just drawing over to the left. Opening up the low back. So twists are really good to release tightness in the low back, create a little space in between the bones. And when you're laying down, you have the support of the floor, so as to not to twist too deep. Twists the next day are also really good for digestion, especially after a holiday. Not sure what everybody ate or drank last night, but this is a nice way to get things moving in the body and release some toxins and increase the blood flow to your digestive system. We'll take one deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, we'll bring the legs back to center. Draw the knees into the chest. And then we'll take 3 breaths here. Inhale, arms reach up, feet lift. Notice the difference between the right and the left. Exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Inhale, arms reach, legs lift. Exhale. And then one more time. Inhale, reach the arms, open the shoulders through the chest. And then exhale, hug the knees in. We'll take both feet down to the floor and then hug the left knee into the chest. We'll lift the left foot up towards the ceiling. And then again, you can start off in any way that feels okay. If you're using a strap, feel free to place it at the bottom of the left foot. If you're using the hands, you're supporting the back of the thigh with the hands. We'll let the right leg go straight. And then just ease into what you feel here. If you're feeling extra tight in the hamstring, then take your time. Let the shoulders drop down. So you can think about if you're focusing today on maybe trying to get your leg a little straighter, or keeping it bent and maybe drawing your leg a little bit more back. So different areas of the hamstring you might feel more or less depending on what you're focusing on today. So see what feels good. Maybe you flex the foot, maybe you just keep it relaxed. Take a deep, full breath in. And then as you exhale, hug the knee into the chest. We'll place the right hand on your right hip. And then just take your left hand or the strap on the left knee and draw your left knee over to the left. And then we'll support the back of the leg with your left hand and then extend the left leg. So again, deciding if you want the leg to go more straight, so maybe it's not going over to the left so much, or you want to think about having the leg more bent but reaching way over to the left. Maybe eventually having a straight leg and reaching over to the left. So just see what feels better. Different areas of the leg might be feeling tight. So take your time, easing in, trying to stay grounded down through the right hip. Take a full breath in, and then as you exhale, let's hug the knee into the chest. Switch the direction of the knee, so you're going to hold on with your right hand and drop the left knee over, cross it over towards the right. Your left hand can stay on your left hip, supporting the back of the left thigh with your hand, or the foot is in a strap. Start to extend that left leg towards the right. So again, maybe it reaches way over and back. So toes reaching towards the back of the room. Maybe the knee is soft. So to find the edge for you, where if you went too far, you would not be comfortable. But if you let go too much and you're not really doing much, then it's too easy. So try to find the middle, where you're finding the edge, you're not going past that, but your body's doing the work. We'll take one more full breath in here, and then as you exhale, hug the left knee into the chest. We'll bend the right knee so the right foot comes onto the floor. We'll cross the left thigh over the right thigh. Start with a gentle sway, left to right with the right foot down. And then we'll reach for the back of the right thigh. Right knee draws into the chest, continuing that gentle sway. And then pausing a little bit over to the right. Draw the right knee in towards your right shoulder. And then completely let go here. Close the eyes. Relaxing the left hip. Relax the shoulders. Breathing with ease. Using your inhale to take in the positive elements of the practice, relaxation, lightness, ease, and then letting go of what we're trying to release here. Any stress, any tightness, any worry, any angst, let it go. Take one more full breath in here, and then as you exhale, let's release. Let the right foot come down to the floor. Your left foot is going to come down next to the right. Arms reach away from each other. And then just gently let both legs drop over to the right. So the left shoulder, left side of the rib cage, drawing over to the left. Right hip, right knee, drawing to the right. You can be reaching your left knee away from the left hip to open up the low back. And then just pause here to take a few really nice deep breaths. relaxing around the spine. Breathing with ease. Let's take one more full deep breath in. And then as you exhale, we'll bring the legs back to center. And we'll just hug the knees into the chest. We can rock left to right a little bit. You can rock front to back a little bit. See how that feels. And then you can either roll to one side and press yourself up, or you can rock front to back and bring yourself up to sit. And then once you come to sit, we're just going to bring the soles of the feet together, way out in front, so you have a nice big diamond here. We'll bring the hands onto the shins, relax the shoulders, sway left to right a little bit with your hips. You're kind of lifting up your seat, just so you can ground down more onto the bones. And then as you inhale, lift the chin, open the chest, relax the shoulders down. And then as you exhale, hold on with the hands, just pull the belly in, pull the shoulders down, drop the chin. Inhale, lift the chin. Feel this movement from the low back to the mid back. Exhale, pull back, letting the neck release when the head hangs down. And then one more time, just like that. Inhale, lift, and exhale, pull back. This time we're going to inhale to come up straight back. Arms are going to reach out and up. And then interlace your hands, place them at the back of your head, relax the shoulders. Now we're going to get a little bit more mid-back, upper back. Inhale, lean back with the head. Let the elbows open, shoulders relax. And then exhale, take the chin down and just ease into the mid-back and neck. Inhale, lift the chin and open. Exhale, elbows hug in, drop the head from the neck to the mid-back. Inhale one more time, lean back and open. And exhale, drop the head and neck, elbows in. We're going to come back up, opening up the elbows, keeping the hands where they are, but your right hand is going to come down to the floor. Maybe tent the fingertips, just let the hand be there for support. Inhale, take the left elbow way back as you breathe in, and then exhale, left elbow to the right knee. Really reach as you press down with your left hip. Inhale, open. We're getting into opening up the shoulder and the chest here. And then when you exhale, we're getting into the side of the back. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more time. Inhale, open to the left. And exhale, down to the right knee. Come back up to center. Switch hands. Right hand comes behind the head. Left fingertips come down to the side next to you. Breathe in as you bring your elbow and shoulder blade way back. And then exhale, right elbow to the left knee. Really reach through the low back. Good. Inhale, open chest and shoulder blade. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more time, just like that. Inhale, reach back with that right shoulder blade, and then exhale, elbow to knee. We'll come back up to center. We'll take both hands up overhead, and then as you exhale, hinge forward, reach forward, and then hold on to the feet or ankles, and let the head hang heavy. So you're opening up the inner thighs, the outer thighs, your low back, mid-back and shoulders. You can sway the head left to right. You can sway the torso left to right. Often when people feel they have a tight low back, it's usually either on one side or the other. So just taking the time to really reach to the opposite side to open up those muscles on either side of the spine. Take one more breath in here as you lengthen your spine, and one more deep breath as you exhale and go a little deeper. And then we'll use your next inhale to come up. Once you come up, we'll bring the feet to the floor in front of you, feet about hip width apart. Hands will come back for support, and then just windshield wiper the legs. Just a little bit here. Hopefully everybody's hips and back are feeling excellent right now. And then we're going to transition and come on to hands and knees. So feeling free to pad up the knees if you need to. We're going to start in a child's pose. So we're going to take the knees wider than the hips. The big toes are going to touch. Hips are going to sink down towards your heels. And we're going to start first by letting the elbows, forearms, and hands rest on the floor, and then just drop the forehead down. Pause here, lengthening through the spine. Shoulders are open and relaxed. And breathing deeply. On your next inhale, you're going to lift the head about 6 inches off the floor. And then we're going to reach the hands way out in front so that your elbows and forearms lift off the floor. Palms and hands down. Take a full breath in. And then exhale. Let's drop the forehead down to the floor. We'll take 3 deep breaths here. Feeling maybe a little deeper in the shoulders. On your next inhale, we'll lift the head off the floor again. This time we're going to tent the fingertips so the pads of your fingers are on the floor. Your palms are hollowed out and lifted. Shoulders are now a little higher off the mat. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, try to lower the forehead down. Pull the shoulder blades back. Shoulders are pulling back. Stretching through the whole back here and shoulders. We'll take one more full breath in. And then as you exhale, let's make our way up onto hands and knees, tabletop. So the knees are going to come parallel underneath your hips. Your wrists are underneath your shoulders or a little bit more in front. As you breathe in, curl the toes under, drop the belly, lift the chin, relax the shoulders, soft elbows. And as you exhale, tuck the chin, round the back, tops of the feet pressed down. Inhale again, curl the toes under, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck and round. Inhale, curl the toes under, drop the belly, lift the chin, and exhale, tuck and round. Good. Coming to neutral spine here. Crown of the head is forward, tailbone is back. We're going to take the left foot straight back, toes starting down on the floor, belly in strong, right hand reaches towards the front of the room. And then here we're going to gently rock front to back. So you're stretching out through the bottom of your left foot, but then challenging your balance a little bit by having the right hand lifted. And then here we're going to lift the left leg off the floor if you can. Belly draws in nice and strong. Be able to breathe with ease here. This pose is really good for bone density, for muscle strength, your core, your back. Take one more full deep breath in. And then as you exhale, right hand comes down, left toes come down behind you. I'm going to pivot the right foot off of the right to the mat. Left foot comes down to the floor. Left hand reaches up towards the ceiling. So you can stay here in gate pose. You can work to lift your left leg off the floor. I'm going to break down side plank a little bit. So if you want to start working through side plank to get a little bit more strength, I like to cross my right ankle over the left. That way your hips are encouraged to lift. Working on that strength through the arm and shoulder. This is really good for posture, using your core to lift. So just breathe through. Anytime you need to drop that right knee down, you can. If you feel like your hips are sagging down, lift. Get a little stronger in the back. Beautiful. Gate pose is fine. You don't have to come into side plank. Take a full breath in, and then as you exhale, left hand comes down, right knee comes down, left knee comes down. Child's pose, this time take both hands behind you. Let your forehead drop, let your shoulders drop, and feel free to get some movement in the wrists. So moving your wrists in circles or pointing and flexing through the hands. Really relax the shoulders. Letting go of any tension in the neck. Child's pose is a great pose to check in with yourself, reground, and reconnect. We're going to take a deep, full breath in here. And then as you exhale, let's come back to center. Hands and knees. Knees may go a little bit wider than they just were, so they're underneath the hips. And just 3 gentle breaths here. Inhale, curling the toes under, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the back. So just moving gently here with the spine. This is getting the spinal fluid to move. It's really healthy for the back. Just as long as you're not pushing too deep, so you're not causing any pain, especially on the inhale. Just drop the belly a little as you lift the chin, and then when you exhale, you can really round the back here. And then coming back to neutral, we're going to take the right foot straight back, toes are down on the floor. Left hand is going to reach towards the front of the room, shoulders are relaxed, and then a gentle rock front to back. So stretching through the right foot, changing your center here so the balance is challenged. And then when you come back to neutral, we'll lift the right leg. Shoulders are relaxed, belly is in strong. So 45 seconds is when we start building with bone. We start working through bone density rather than just the muscle. So that's about 4 or 5 breaths in these poses. So take one more full deep breath in, and then as you exhale, we'll take the left hand down to the floor. Right toes find the floor behind you. Someone's unmuted, I believe. We'll come into that gate pose. So right foot is coming down to the floor. Right hand is reaching up towards the ceiling. Again, you can stay right here. This is perfect. If you want to go a little deeper, you can reach your right foot up towards the ceiling. You don't have to. Just lifting it up hip height. If you want to come into that side plank with the modified ankles, you could take your left ankle across in front of the right. If your hips are sagging down, lift them up nice and high. And pause here and breathe. Maybe count your breaths. See if you can come into this pose for 4 or 5 breaths. Staying engaged, staying connected, and present right here.
If you can hear me, can you unmute? For somehow your system's muted yourself.
Me?
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you unmute?
I'm unmuted.
No, not Mary, Mary.
Me?
You need to stay muted.
I'm muted?
Thanks, Mary.
Was I muted?
Just the last couple of minutes.
Oh, what happened?
The system with somebody else unmuting. You're okay, you're good to go.
Okay. 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 So coming from that side plank, we're going to transition down to child's pose. Technology is so hard, isn't it? Oh, okay. Sorry about that, you guys. Didn't realize I was muted. Head down. Connect. That's why I love my yoga practice so much. It's really taught me how to just kind of go with the flow. When things change, I'm usually not into change. I like things the way they're supposed to be. But I've gotten much more flexible and adaptable now that I've been practicing yoga for so long. So it's just a nice tool to have to check in, relax, not get anxious when things aren't perfect. Okay, we're gonna come up onto hands and knees here. And we're gonna step the right foot forward up between the hands. So your right foot is coming forward. Your right knee is over the right ankle. If you want to use blocks, you can have your hands on blocks. I'm going to show without just in case people don't have blocks, but feel free to use them if you have them. From here, we're going to curl the left toes under and we're going to lift the left knee. So now we're working on some strength here in the legs. So we've opened up the muscles and now we're going to start to build some strength. The muscles around the knee joint, the hip joints. So just pausing here in this lunge pose, feeling super strong. And just adding a little twist. The left hand will stay down, right hand reaches up towards the ceiling. Try to stay low here. So your right hip is in line with your right knee, left thigh is strong. Just take a nice full deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, we're going to bring the right hand down. You're framing your front foot. We're going to drop the left knee, relax the left foot. We're now going to bring both hands to the inside of your right foot. Turn your right toes to about 2 o'clock and then roll to the pinky side of your right foot. You can stay up. You can stay right here. Fingertips on the floor, hands on blocks. I'm going to give lots of suggestions here. You do what feels good. We're opening up the right hip and the left hip flexor. You can add on by maybe just taking the right hand onto the right knee and opening it up a little deeper. You can add on by bending the left knee and reaching your right hand back for your left foot. You don't have to. And if you want to just sink down deeper, maybe you bring your forearms to the floor and just hang out here. So it's up to you. See what feels good. We're going to take about 3 more breaths here. So a nice full breath in, maybe swaying left to right a little bit, keeping the blood flowing. You're exhaling completely. We'll take 1 more deep full breath in here. And then as you exhale, we're going to start to lift your left hip, turn your right toes forward, frame your front foot, we're just gonna walk the hands back and try to let your right leg go a little bit straighter. It's okay if the knee is bent, and it's okay if the back is rounded here. We're just gonna try to pull the right hip back to lengthen the hamstring just for a moment. Your toes can stay down, or you can lift them, whatever feels good for you. Taking a nice deep breath in, and then as you exhale, we're gonna pull the right foot back. It's gonna land right underneath your right knee. Both hands are gonna walk about a foot in front of your right foot. Curling the left toes under, we're gonna lift the left knee and push off. So you're standing on your right foot. Okay, we usually do revolved half moon because that's my favorite pose, but we're gonna do half moon pose. So the right hand is gonna stay where it is. The left foot is gonna turn, so the arch is parallel to the floor. You can stay here, or you can play around with lifting your left hand up towards the ceiling. Chest starts to open to the left, and play around with your balance. We want to hold the pose for about 4 to 5 breaths, really building a lot of strength in that right leg, in the bones around the hip. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, we're going to take the left hand back down. We're going to take the left foot next to the right foot, bent knees a lot, and then just hang in a forward bend. I have my belly resting on my thighs. Lots of support here. We'll take one more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, hands come down. Step the feet back one at a time so you can come down onto your knees. And a resting pose of your choice here. So you can come onto hands and knees, moving your spine with your breath. You can come into a child's pose. You can come into a downward dog, or you can sit up so that your hips are sitting on your heels and you're opening up your shins. Pick your pose, close the eyes, and breathe. Breathing in, breathing out. Either being still in the pose or moving with breath. Length through the spine, relax through the shoulders. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back onto hands and knees. This time we're going to send the left foot forward. Hands again are framing your front foot with or without blocks. We're going to curl the right toes under, lift the right knee. So you're in this low lunge pose. Crown of the head is forward, tailbone is back, left knee right over the left ankle. Really strong here. The right hand is going to come down to the floor, and we're just going to twist to the left. Left hand reaches up towards the ceiling. Just feeling nice and open here. Nice and strong from the hips down. We'll take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to bring the left hand down to the inside of your left foot. Drop the right knee. Relax the right foot. Left toes turn to 10 o'clock. Roll to the pinky side of your left foot. Again, lots of options. You can sway left to right and stay right here. You can add on by left hand on the inside of the left knee. You can go a little further, bend your right knee, reach the left hand back for your right foot. Maybe you decide to come down onto forearms and be deep. So whichever pose you pick, relax and breathe and visualize. Think about what we talked about when we were in the figure 4. The hips carry a lot of tightness and tension. So these hip openers can feel really deep, but they're really healthy and really good to release tension all around the hips and low back. So we'll take one more really full breath in here. And then as you exhale, we'll come back up, lifting that right hip, frame your left foot, and just pull the hip back. This should be a nice release. So you can just let your hands come back a little bit. Maybe your hands are on blocks. It's okay to round the back and let the head hang here. We're just releasing the left hip. We opened it, and now just letting it go straight so the blood can flow. Not worrying about whether this is a hamstring stretch or not. Just making the line open for your breath and the blood to flow in the leg and hip. And then we're going to gently pull the left foot back. It's going to come right underneath your left knee. Both hands walk about a foot in front of your left foot. Curl the right toes under, lift the right knee, and then push off. So you're on your left foot. So you can stay here, or you're going to stack your hips by turning your right foot so that the arch is parallel to the floor. So now your right hip is stacked on top of the left. Right shoulder is going to stack on top of the left as you reach your right hand up towards the ceiling. Playing around with half moon. If this pose feels super challenging right now, maybe you can try again a little bit later against a wall. So if you're leaning against a wall here, you can get the openness, but just have the support, taking the balance element out. One more full breath in, and then as you exhale, hand, feet down, knees bent, your belly is resting on your thighs. You can hold on to opposite elbows and just hang here in this deep forward bend. Just letting the blood flow from the heart to the brain. Really good for nourishing the cells in the brain without having to do a handstand or a headstand. Take one more full breath in here. And then as you exhale, let's slowly make our way down to your resting pose again of your choice. It can be a child's pose. It can be a downward dog. It can be on your knees. Just find a pose that feels really good for you right now to reconnect. Give your body what it needs. If you're feeling more active, then you're in that downward dog. If you've worked really hard and you want to just chill, come into child's pose. Whatever you're looking for, it's your practice. I'm just here to guide you and remind you to breathe. We're going to take one more full breath in here. And then as you exhale, come down onto your knees if you're not already there. Find your table position. And then we're going to come down onto forearms. So forearms on the floor, hands relaxed however you like them. So I love that someone said to me recently that gentle doesn't mean easy. So a gentle class doesn't mean we can't work really hard. We can do it. It's just being gentle to the body and keeping an awareness with your breath and your practice. So we're going to work the core a little bit here. It's super important for all of us to have that strong core. So we're going to take the right foot back and then the left foot back. If you can't maintain this pose in forearm plank, then just bring the knees down. That's okay. Knees can be down, shins and tops of the feet are down, and then you're just pushing your belly up towards the ceiling. So find the pose, the shape that you can be into here, and then just find that easy breath. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Feel the space between your shoulder blades. So if anybody has any back problems, having a strong core will really help prevent any further injury. If you feel like this is hurting your back, then your hips might be too low. Lift them up a little higher. Really draw your belly button in and up. You can push back through your heels. You can push down with your forearms to open up through the chest and shoulder blades. So we're digging deep here. We're finding a lot of strength. And focus. Take one more full breath in. As you exhale, we're going to drop down to the belly. Just take a moment here to rest. If you're uncomfortable on the belly, the next pose we're coming into is laying on your back. So when you're ready, we're just going to turn over and be on your back. You can let your legs go straight out and let your arms come overhead. So stretching out through the belly, through the side ribs, and through the back. Finding that easy breath. The length in the spine. Relax through the shoulders. And then from here, we're going to take both feet to the floor. Knees are bent. Arms can come down by your sides. We're going to cross the right thigh over the left thigh. You're going to scoot your hips over to the right. Arms reach away from each other. Let the legs drop over to the left. Again, if this is too much, you can always uncross the legs. But one last spinal twist here. Letting go of tension in the low back. Opening up the right hip. And bringing out the toxins in the body, just helping with digestion here. Breathing with ease. Feel free to turn your head over your right shoulder. Take one more full breath in. And then as you exhale, we'll bring the legs back to center. Uncross them. Even out the hips. We'll cross the left thigh over the right. Hips draw over to the left a little bit, and then the legs drop over to the right. Head turns left. And just breathe deeply here. Feeling the length, not only in the spine, but in the side body as you open up the space between the rib cage and the lungs. So breathing deeply in a twist helps condition the lungs and increase your lung capacity. Take one more full breath in here, and then as you exhale, uncross the legs, bring the legs back to center, gently hug the knees into the chest. We'll lift the feet up towards the ceiling. We'll lift the hands up towards the ceiling, floppy wrists, floppy ankles, soft knees, soft elbows. This is really good for circulation and for your lymphatic system. So just take a moment here to let everything flow using gravity. Take one more full breath in, and then as you exhale, you can lower the hands, lower the feet, and find Shavasana, your final relaxation pose. Your legs can be out straight, your knees can be bent. Let the palms face up. Let the eyes gently be closed. Soften the space between the eyebrows. Relax the jaw. Relax through the neck and throat. Relax the shoulders. Feel the rise and fall of the chest and belly as you breathe. Let go of any last bit of tightness or tension in the hips. Just relax through the limbs, the arms and hands, legs and feet. Just let these last few moments of your practice settle in deep. And when you're ready, you can begin to just bring some small movements back in the body. If you prefer to stay in Shavasana, you can. I will slowly transition the body from Shavasana to seated. And remember that we are all connected. That not only are we here with each other, but we're here for each other. Thanks you guys so much. Namaste. Sorry about the technical difficulties with the muting.